Yes everyone, it is now time for game week number 5 of my Premier League predictions. My name is Nathan Sanford, you are watching Little Sinners, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. I'm on the road to 100 subscribers, let's hope I can get there soon. And with EAFC 25 coming out this Friday, there'll be lots of content coming out with that, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. So, without further ado, let's see my prediction, shall we? West Ham versus Chelsea. West Ham fans, do you think you've had a good or bad start to the season? Because I'm a little bit unsure. With the fixtures you've had so far, I would expect 6 or 7 points, but only having 4 points from 4 games, it's just a bit meh. I'm not sure. Now, in the game against Fulham, West Ham, you were more than lucky to come away with a point. You definitely should have lost that game. And you can't really be relying on Danny Ings to get your last-minute goals. It's not going to end well for you. And on to Chelsea, I'm not going to make fun of you or berate you this time. You got the 1-0, you got all 3 points, but on you. I really don't know what this score could be this time though, so I'm just going to have to sit on the fence and go for a 0-0 draw. Aston Villa versus Wolves. In my last predictions video, I said this about Villa.
Like, we're very, very good at going and playing really well against the top teams, and then the team's really struggling, we just let them run all over us, and they have some confidence back, and then they go on a good winning streak or something. But I'm hoping this is not going to happen here. We're not going to win comfortably, but we are going to win 1-0.
And to be honest, I wasn't wrong. I wouldn't say I was wrong. We may have dominated most of the possession and all the other stats in this game, but my God, didn't we make it difficult for ourselves still. Like I said we were going to. And if it wasn't for an absolute screamer of a goal from John Duran, I mean, he had no right to shoot from there. Even in one of the replays, you see a fan literally being there like, why are you shooting? And then Ines is in the top corner. And the fan's like, yay! Football's weird. And Wolves, you aren't going to lose every game to 2 pretty decent goals from the opposition team. I mean, that's just sort of like a little one-off. But conceding 11 goals from 4 games, that's Everton levels of bad. And as I'm recording this, the Champions League game hasn't been played yet for Villa or any of the Premiership teams. So I don't know how the team's going to shape up for the next game. But I still think it's going to be a pretty comfortable win. So I'm going for an Aston Villa 2. Wolves 0. Fulham versus Newcastle. From the highlights, Fulham were all over West Ham in that game and definitely should have come away with all 3 points. But Fulham, when are you going to learn that Traore couldn't hit a whale with a tank? Just stop letting him shoot. Just don't let him. Anytime the ball comes near him, just be like, no, do not shoot. Don't do it. I mean, but Leno in goal would be better at shooting on target than Traore would be. As for Newcastle, I said this last time out.
I think once again, Newcastle's going to get a little lucky late winner. It's going to be Wolverhampton 1. Newcastle 2.
And I'd say an 80th minute, pretty decent goal from Harvey Barnes counts as a lucky late winner. But Newcastle, it's not happening again. Nope, it's not happening again. Your unbeaten record is gone this time. It's going to be switched around the scores, and it's going to be Fulham 2, Newcastle 1. Leicester versus Everton. It's going to be 1-1. Next, Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Okay, no one had Forest beating Liverpool 1-0 in that game. No one. Absolutely zilch. Zero. None. If you say that you had that predicted as your score, you are lying. You're a liar. Don't lie. It's bad. Nutty. But I mean, it wasn't for the want of trying. Liverpool, you did have 14 shots in that game. Only 5 were on target. But still, the positives, you know? It does probably mean the title race might be over with Liverpool and Arsenal both dropping points already this season. But we can still keep going and hope for the best. And Bournemouth, I do really feel sorry for you. You're just getting the worst refs in the Prem right now. I mean, all of them are pretty shit, but you just getting the worst of the worst. What is it, 15 yellow cards in 1 game? That performance from Anthony Taylor was just all about ego. That was him being like, I want to be the one with the record. Yay, me. That was all it was. And in the moment, Bournemouth, you're just a bit meh. I really want you to do well, but yeah, you're just a bit mess. So that last game was just a little blip for Liverpool, and they're going to be back to winning ways with a 3-1 win over Bournemouth. Southampton versus Ipswich. Now, when the transfer window was open, I really wanted Cameron Archer to stay at Villa and for Duran to leave. And my God, am I glad that didn't happen. Oh, we dodged a bullet there. Cameron Archer's just not a Premier League striker. He's a very, very good Championship level striker, and there's nothing wrong with that. He can still probably strike a ball better than I can run for a donut, but he's just not a Premier League striker. So Southampton, you need to find someone else to get you goals. And guess what? Ipswich, guess what? I'm predicting you to win a game. Yes, Ipswich, I think you're going to win this one, and it's going to be a nice, easy win for you. A lovely 2-0 win for Ipswich. Tottenham versus Brentford. The North London derby was a little bit better than I was expecting. Not much, but a little bit. And to be honest, Tottenham, coming closer. Not too close. Back it up. You didn't really want to win that game, did you? No, I didn't think so. And then Brentford, a 2-1 loss to Man City in the grand scheme of things is a really, really good result for you. I mean, you defended for your lives at the end of that game, and I applaud you for that, really do. And also getting a goal within 25 seconds or something like that. God, Wissa, they should start calling you quicker. That is an awful joke. And I think that this little sort of good defending is going to continue. And I reckon at the end of this game, Spurs are going to be so just dreadful that Ange Postecoglou is going to pull the last of his hair out and he's just going to run away from the club of his own accord. So I think this game's going to be a 3-1 win to Brentford. Yeah, I know. Crazy. There's always one crazy prediction from me. So yeah. That one's for you, Harry, at work. Crystal Palace versus Man United. Palace... I'm just running out of patience with you, and I'm definitely running out of patience with Eze. God, he is gone out of my fantasy team. Zilch. Gone. Finito. But I just can't keep predicting your Palace to win games, and just nothing happens. You got a very lucky draw in your last game, and I just don't see you keep going that way. So, this time out, Man U, once again, I'm predicting you to win, just because I'm fed up with Palace. It's going to be Palace 0, Man U 1. Brighton versus Nottingham Forest. Brighton, you've gone from every time you look at the goal, the ball goes in the back of the net, to then all of a sudden all your players are Stevie Wonder. Yes, I know it was only one game and I'm overreacting, but still. And as for Forest, I just have to say, just bravo. Bravo, you played that game against Liverpool perfectly. You just soaked up all the pressure from Liverpool, got an amazing counter-attack, stuck the ball in the back of the net. Just textbook, just what you need. Who needs all that pep ball, whatever that is, little tiki-taka stuff. Just long ball over, off the post and in. Beautiful. But in this game, Brighton, you're going to get back to your scoring ways, and I don't see much to split the two teams right now, so it's going to be a 2-2 draw. And finally, Manchester City versus Arsenal. Man City are just going to have too much for this weakened Arsenal team. Yes, I know Arsenal, you beat Spurs with this team that's got a few injuries, but City are a completely different kettle of fish. They're just not going to roll over for you like Spurs did. Haaland will probably bag a couple more goals, and he's probably going to beat his own goal-scoring record by, like, February. So... he's just a machine. Arsenal might get a late goal back, but then it's not going to be enough. And at the end of the game, Arteta's going to come out, whinge and cry about some sort of decision that happened in the game that really wouldn't have made any difference to the outcome of the match. And then you'll go onto social media, onto TikTok, and that, what's his name, Rory Talks Football, will just spurt out the same load of bollocks that Arteta did in his mission to creep into his bed so we can give him a little, how's your father? So I think the final score on this one will be Man City 3, Arsenal 1. So there you have it there on my Premier League predictions for game week number 5. Now, if you're all done here and that's all you wanted to see, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to come on down, get a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, do all the fun stuff down there, and I'll see you in the next video in a little bit. But if you want to stick around and see what I got in game week number 4, like all my results, then stick around and I'll tell you how I'm doing and how many points I've got with my little scheme that I'm doing. That sounds weird. Okay then, yes, once again, here are my scores and the final scores from each game last week in game week number 4. Once again, on the left hand side we do have the final scores, and then on the right hand side we do have my scores. So let's go through each of these games and see how I did. So in Southampton versus Man U did win 3-0. I said it was going to be 2-0. Man U, why did you have to get one final goal? You could have just left it and I would have got it right. But it is a correct score anyway. Then we had Brighton Ipswich was 0-0, and I said it was going to be 2-0 to Brighton, so that's incorrect. Then we had Crystal Palace versus Leicester, which did finish 2-2. I said it was going to be 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Then over to Fulham West Ham, finished 1-1. I said it was going to be 2-2, so a nice correct result there for me. Then over to Liverpool Nottingham Forest, which was 1-0 to Forest. Well done them. And it did. I did predict 2-1 to Liverpool, which I think most people probably would have done. And then over to Man City versus Brentford, it finished 2-1. I said it was going to be 4-0, so that's another correct result. Then on to Aston Villa versus Everton, it did finish 3-2. I said it was going to be a 1-0 to Villa. So I got the right amount of goal difference right, just not in the right places. So that is another correct result there. Then on to Bournemouth Chelsea. Chelsea did win 1-0, whereas I said they were going to win 2-1. So another correct result. And then on to Tottenham Arsenal. I did say that Tottenham were going to win 2-1. They didn't. Arsenal did win 1-0. I know, stupid prediction there. Then on to Wolves versus Newcastle. The final score was 2-1 to Newcastle, and I said it was going to be 2-1 to Newcastle. So that is another correct score right there. Boom. And then just going on to the score that I've been tracking. Now, once again, if I get a correct result, that is 1 point. And if I get a correct score, that is 4 points. So I am on 4 correct scores for the season and 12 correct results. I was only on 6 last time. Got 6 correct results in that whole game week. Not too shabby at all, with 14 wrong altogether. Which means my final total is 28 points right now. Let's see how many I can get by the end of the season. If I can get up to like 120 points, I'll be happy by the end of the season. So there we go, that is all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Nathan Sanford, you've been watching Little Sinners. I'll catch you next week for more amazing game week predictions. And don't forget that EAFC 25 comes out on Friday. I've already pre-ordered it, I'm going to be playing it, hopefully recording some for you as well. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of it. But in the meantime, I'll see you in a bit.